time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another great episode of FFC. I am your host, Coach. Oh man, I forgot one simple thing. I got to get myself a All right, so welcome back. We have a wonderful show for you guys today. Some news popped up throughout the NFL lately, and so it's like the greatest time to come together and speak to you guys about this news. And what do we have for the end? Oh, I took schedule release a little differently this time. Normally, I start alphabetical from the basically alphabetical order from A all the way down to Washington, basically Arizona to Washington. It's not an issue doing it that way, but I feel like since I'm bringing that topic to the show, I wanted to do it a little differently. So I'm going to, which may cause some of these schedule predictions to change when I get to other teams. But the way I did this year is a little different. I set it up to where I'm going to do each division. So, like for instance, for example, today we're starting with the NFC East. Why do I pick that one first? Well, because damn near everybody in R2L is either a Washington, Cowboys, or Eagles fan. It's weird. Like nobody's a Giants fan. Thank God. You see them ugly jerseys that they decided to put on their bodies this year? What games they plan on winning? And we're also going to match what I did last year. So I did a schedule prediction for 2023. The team played, right? They have their schedule. They have their record. I'm going to see how close I came to the actual team's record, right? That's fun. See where coach's mind be at, right? So we'll do that when we do the predictions. But like I said, we have a lot of great things today. But the one I want to get started with first, I didn't make a banner for it because it's going to be real quick. It's, again, why is nobody talking about the ugly-ass Giants uniform? Like, why? Oh, they're disgusting. Yeah, I thought, was it Green Bay with the yellow-brown ugly joints? I thought those were ugly. I think Chicago even had some Dookie Brown ones that were ugly. They tried to play it off as orange, but they look Dookie Brown to me. But these Giants uniforms are absolutely atrocious. Like, if I can find a bigger word than atrocious, I'll find it and I'll use that word. They're disgusting. Why would you put red and blue? Oh, I'm sorry, the TV's so loud with The Simpsons. Why would you put red and blue on that's not gold. That's not gold. That's not taking y'all nowhere. You don't have a running back. You barely have any receivers, and you chose Daniel Jones as your future. Okay, I want you all to understand something very, very clearly. Those uniforms are ugly. Have you ever seen teams losing ugly uniforms? Everybody's getting fired. From the designer to the general manager to the coach. Everybody getting fired. Because not only are we losing, we look ugly doing it. Yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Dude, they look horrible. I don't like those jerseys. I hope it's like a one-time thing. I hope this isn't what they're about to have. Like, ill. They're ugly. They need to be thrown away. Why would you want to wear that? What made you look at those colors and say, man, I'm talking about we're gonna rock. Have y'all seen them Houston Texans? Those are jerseys, Phil. That's the future. That's how you go upward. You don't copy the Browns bottoms and put it on your red and blues. Like, what? I'm trying to get the Browns to change theirs. They at least got the brown dollar pound. They look pretty nice with the brown and orange. This is ugly, Giants. It's about, and that's how bad it. Y'all match your season. I tell you that much. Oh my God, it's a horrible, horrible. All right. So first topic of the day we have is Waddle's payday. And you know, Coach did. Yep, I forgot to pull it up. That's okay. Now, there's a big significance about his contract and was it Waddle's contract? And I forgot what his name was, but it's the third string from the 49ers. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so the Miami Dolphins, though they still plan on paying Tua, because again, they got to do is throw 30-something touchdowns in the NFL nowadays, and you can get over 200 million, about 100 some odd crazy guarantee now as a quarterback. It just throw 30. You ain't got to do much more than that. An average quarterback can get paid. It is. We're there. We're there in the NFL. You ain't got to be great to get money. You ain't got to be that great to get money. So, I mean, Josh Allen has been overpaid for how long now? What has he done? Who's he keep losing to? But he's got $286 million sitting on it, right? You know, hey, I don't know what people explain. I don't know what people look at talent nowadays. But what I will say is Jalen Waddle is a very talented wide receiver. If he's a great wide receiver. He could be a number one if he went to a team where he had to be the number one wide receiver. He doesn't have to be in Miami because they have Tyreek Hill. And you can say he's the number one. It's just Tyreek Hill just faster. Like, he gets open faster. It's just, there's nothing wrong with Jalen Waddle's game. Nothing wrong at all. He's very healthy. He stays healthy. He takes care of himself. I think he is consistently valuable for his worth. So 3 years, $84 million, $76 million guaranteed. That's a lot of money, but I think for what you're paying for Jalen Waddle, it's a good price. And here's why I say that. Yeah, I'm going there. That contract is tradable. Let's just keep the happy Dolphins fans out of this for a second. Let's do that. Okay. That is a lot of money. You still have to pay your quarterback, right? But this is a contract that any team for Jalen Waddle's worth, if the Miami Dolphins had to make a move, bing, it's right here. He's already paid with a contract. They're paying him $76 million guaranteed. They can do that. And he can get traded somewhere else because another team doesn't have to pay that. I'm not saying it is. 3 years is not a long time. $84 million is a lot of money. Things happen. I'm just saying this contract helps both sides. It helps the receiver getting paid on a short-term contract, because this is not a big contract. It's not a long contract. It's 3 years, bro. Let's be real. It's not 4. It's not 5. It's a 3-year contract, okay? He got more money than A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf when they got paid for their 3 years. He got the hitter. He got the real contract, okay? What does this mean? Well, somebody might get really paid. I couldn't wait to come on here and say that. Look, they just paid Juwan Jennings. I couldn't think of his name, and then it popped in my head. Look, they went out there and they paid Juwan Jennings for 2 years, $15 million. $10 million was guaranteed for 2 years, right? Oh, they want to lock up their slot guy. That's fine. You know who you haven't paid yet? Then you're not franchise tagging him. He is the most valuable player on that team outside of Debo. But to the point, he is your number one double coverage wide receiver threat who is consistently on that line every week eating. They weren't going to trade him, and they weren't going to franchise tag him. What they were waiting for, they were waiting for receivers to finish getting paid. You see this everywhere. Everybody else do it. They do it with running backs. They do it with quarterbacks. You see the trickle of payments come, and then bam, Joe Burrow, highest paid quarterback in the NFL. You see how that worked? Because at first it was what? Herbert. He got the contract. He was the last one that got paid. Now let's pay Burrow before the season starts. And if I'm not mistaken, it was right before the season started, right after preseason, if I'm not mistaken. Or they could have played him in preseason. I wasn't sure. But I know when you wait, it makes the contract better. Like if you don't pay, there's a certain time you wait, which is what they're doing with IU. There's a certain point that you get to and you wait, then you sign a contract. So he can get all his money because he's not going to be at training camp. He's not going to training camp. It's to the point now when you pay somebody like this, when you pay a Brady, when you pay anybody, they're not coming to training camp. If they've been paid prior, they'll be at that training camp. But if they're waiting to get paid, right? Here's the thing: insurance, all that stuff ain't covered. You got to remember, this is why so many players are so hesitant about signing a franchise tag. Some of them aren't. Some of them understand and be like, all right, it is what it is. But some of them like, I don't know. Why? Because those ones, they understand their body. They understand they can get hurt. And they don't want to get hurt in the franchise tag. You're not franchise tagging this guy because he's not getting hurt. Even if he does get hurt after you're paid, you have so many weapons on that team. You can sustain paying him and him dealing with an injury for a year and coming back and giving you everything he still got. So I'm looking for Brandon Ayuk to get paid right before the season starts. I don't expect him at training camp. He might show up the last week just so he can start working out. Because he'll do his own off season. He's going to do his own training camp workout. They all do. Zeke did it. This is what I don't understand. Zeke did his own training camp in Cabo, wherever he went. Was over there eating, right? Doing a great job. What happened to your $90 million? Did you blow it all? Because now you keep running in the trash cans for training camp. I don't understand, Zeke. I understand. So, Brandon Ayuk's going to take care of himself. He's going to stay in shape. He's going to do what he needs to do off the field, right? He's not paid right now. He ain't got no contract, okay? It's either get paid or a franchise tag. But right now, if anything happens to him and his body, he ain't getting a dime, right? So, you're not showing up. You're not going to get penalized for it. Everybody in the organization understands what the process is. This is nothing old, people. We have been watching this for years. What this is the last person just got paid. Right now, Jalen Waddle is the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, I believe, if this contract made him that. It could be somebody else, but I think it's him. Now, what does that mean? Yes, now that means we pay Brandon Ayuk. He becomes the highest paid wide receiver for the 2024 season. You see how that works? That's what they do. All right. And I'm looking at a contract around 4 years because they're gonna keep him. I think Ayuk has displayed himself for the 49ers as we're here. I'm here. I'm with everybody. Look at what we all did with this team. They are a playoff team. That's very important. And they are a playoff team because of every piece of that puzzle. Every single one. Because remember, what did we see when two of those pieces went down? A high commodity wide receiver in Deebo Samuels and a high commodity lineman in Trent Williams. What happened? Blew up for 3 games. 49ers couldn't win 3 games. They lost 3 in a row because of those 2 players. So every piece of the puzzle is very important. Very important. All right. So I'm looking at Brandon Ayuk for a 4-year deal. I'm looking at No, he's not the highest paid. The highest paid right now is Amon-Ra St. Brown, I believe, because he's the one with the $20 million contract. and 84 million guaranteed. No, 77 million guaranteed. He got 120, 77 or 70 something million guaranteed. Let me go look at St. Brown's contract real quick. Because that's whose contract his has to be higher than. 120 million, 77 guaranteed. All right. And Waddle got 84 million. No, he got 76 guaranteed. So he got 1 million less than Amara. So what this means is if you're going to make Brandon Ayuk the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL for the 2024 season, you could give him 125 over 78, or you can just go ahead and do 130 over 80. Highest paid, 130 over 80, maybe even 86 if you want his guarantee to be more than Waddle. But that'll make him the highest paid. So, and that's not a bad contract for a Brandon Ayuk. What kind of contract that means? We can't move you if something happens. If you fought that, so that is what is holding on. Like not holding on. Like when they say they haven't reached a deal, or they're still back and forth because there's still underlying details in the contract that they're talking about. When the 49ers said contract talks are not happening right now, no, they're not. It's summertime. That man is enjoying. He's probably on vacation, and so is his agent. So are the lawyers. So is the staff in the NFL building, in the team buildings. Like, brother, we closed. People got vacation to go on. We about to get filled. We about to have 1 week of solitude here at Walt Disney World. And summertime about to come here, baby. Okay? So, people it's okay right now when teams say that's what you want to hear right now in May. That there is they have not come to a contract resolution, or there's no as of right now, contract talks have stopped. Yeah, because they've all hey, so when is the next time you're going to be available? Oh, well, I'm getting ready to go on vacation with my family, or I got this going on. I got a talk show here. We're busy in the summertime, but no NFL season. So no, right now, and then people got the mini training camps going on. We don't have time to talk about contracts right now. There's a lot of other things that get in the way of contract talks in May. That's the thing about contract talks. They're just talks. The talk started back in March. Understand that. He got hit with the first contract in March. He sent back his rebuttal. You know, these things are emailed, and businesses take days. Like it takes 10, not just to bring in the process, but he got a lot of emails he got to review. This ain't his only client. So it's a process. So that's why it takes from March to May, or when did we hear? I think it was early May or late April when we heard, right after the draft, when we heard that, or right before the draft. It could have been around that time when 49ers and Ayuk's contract discussions have, halted for the moment. Yes, because breaks are about to happen. Other things are about to happen that necessarily don't even impede the contract. There's no time to deal with that right now. We have other things in play to deal with right now. Him personally and on the business side. He's got other things he's got to go. You got to understand, guys, they talk to each other. They all know what they're doing, okay? What's going to happen is when training camp starts, he will not show up. There has to be a certain amount of days that he misses. It has to be. It's an accountability thing, okay? What that then does, triggers the system, okay? Bam. Let's send this. Now we start the contract talks again. Now we actually go through the process. We have meetings. We have late night phone talks because the contract is a binding agreement with pages of pages that have been, it's almost like buying a house. If you ain't never bought no house, you have no idea what these contracts entail. It is a process, okay? It is. It's a lot of detail, a lot of lawyers involved. Things get ironed out. Things get kicked back. You don't think that the team trying to get one up on Ayuk? Of course. You didn't think that you trying to get one up on the team? Well, you can pay me this. What about this? It's a back and forth until they both say, all right, right here. And that takes time. Nobody's arguing. Nobody's angry. Half the time they probably laughing. Why? Because the team sent this amount. I even said, what? And he said this amount. Team said, what? Oh no. All right, let's stop playing around. All right, how about this amount? Okay, I can see that. But what about this? But remember, he's got incentives he's got to still get paid. He's got bonuses that could possibly be in there. There is more than just the contract. There's more than just the guarantee. Okay. He may want a stipulation in the clause, in the no trade clause. That is financially in the contract because that could hinder his contract amount. You want that? That's a payment. We have to pay. Somebody got to pay for you to not get traded. That we're losing something if we hold on to you during a time where we could have gained something for you. That you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of irony in these contracts. Okay, so understand one thing: Brandon Ayuk will be the highest paid wide receiver when the season begins. All right. Okay, we got a comment. Let's see what we got here. What up, Joe? Hope you're enjoying the show so far. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. This one, I couldn't wait. All right, so I'm scrolling. Ding, ding, ding. And look at what I see on one of my sports sites. And this is the actual headline. Jacobs plea to Adams. Well, look, I'm not a dummy. And all I needed was the headline. I didn't even go look at the rest. I didn't even go read the article. For what? For what? Jacobs is a Raider who used to be a Packer. Adams is a Raider who used to be a Packer. Jacobs is now a Packer who sees greatness in the quarterback and team and says, buddy, come back. Look, let me tell you something. This could happen. This is something I actually would prefer to happen. This isn't, I'm sorry, I should have never left. No, buddy, what you need to go do is take what they can give you of a fair contract, and buddy, you need to go win it. You need to go win some Super Bowl with this quarterback in Green Bay, with this coach in Green Bay. I mean, one thing the coach is not going to do is let something come out of a player's mouth that's going to be in a headline. Think about that. Because they're going to ask him, oh, buddy, wait to the training camp conferences. They're going to ask about Adams to LaFleur. They definitely are. And the fact that Jacobs, all this is going to come back up. And you have to understand, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I would love to see Adams back in Green Bay. Heck yeah. Especially if it's his last couple seasons. Go play with a decent quarterback, a great quarterback. I think you're going to love him, a great quarterback. I'm sorry. He displayed a level of professionalism and skill last year that I do believe will translate into this year. Will it be as nice? No. I think he's going to have a bump in the road somewhere where he's going to have to deal with some difficult situations because why? They got film on you now, guy. You just like everybody else. We got tape. And hey, you gave him a whole season, bro. You did. You gave him a good 17 weeks of Jordan Love. So they're coming for you. But I think you're gonna be ready. But what would help? A great asset, Adams. You've got great receivers, don't get me wrong. This would just actually help a lot. This would be very beneficial on both sides. Dude, there's nothing there for you with the Raiders. Mind you, Jacobs just left the Raiders, right? And he is saying, come home, buddy. Come home. We got a spot for you. Like, come on now. Like, again, there's nobody in that organization that is letting this come out of Jacobs' mouth. They didn't want it. And they're going to try to trade for him. I hope they do. They're going to try. Raiders will approve the first one. But I'd say maybe, hopefully, by trade deadline, when there's some value in a defensive player that they actually need over there from Green Bay, like Jair Alexander, yeah, that could happen. Hey, look, if you want him, we want him. That's the way trades work. You can't sit and tell me Nah, they ain't never going. Why not? Raiders need defense. They ain't worried about that offense right now. You have Aiden O'Connell. They're definitely not worried about that offense right now. They let Jacobs go and didn't fill up that backfield. They are not worried about that offense right now. That coach, he is trying to solidify building that defense right now. That's what he's worried about. He is fixing the defense first, and he's gonna work on that offense secondary. Really, you'll see more offensive selections in the draft next year. You'll see some free agents, more offensive free agents next year. You know what I mean? But this year, he is definitely that. I mean, did you look at the defense last year? Every move he's making right now is to fix that. Okay. So Jacobs could be a piece to move. I mean, Adams could be a piece to move, especially if you can get a decent, valuable result back from anybody on that defensive side from Green Bay. Maybe a linebacker. I just know they need defensive help, and the Raiders could use Adams back. I mean, the Green Bay Packers could use Adams back. Could this turn into nothing? Absolutely. Absolutely. Adams ain't going to say nothing right now. There's nothing for him to say. The plea was to him. All he needs to do is sit back and let all of us in the media go crazy with it, which will happen. Because, again, if they haven't brought it up to him now, it'll be brought up during training camp. And it'll be discussed further for more headlines in training camp, okay? Right now, this was just Jacobs having fun in front of the owner. He probably was sitting with the owner and sent that text. I don't know. Or he probably had a press conference or the meeting. I don't know how. That's the part I didn't say. I didn't read the whole article. I just know I saw the headline, and that's all I wanted. That's all I needed. Because that is something that actually needs to happen. Adams needs to go back to Green Bay. He should have never left. You were chasing Rodgers, and for some reason, I don't know what you didn't see in Jordan Love, but I hope you're wrong, and I hope you want to go back. Or maybe it wasn't Jordan Love. Maybe it had nothing to do with Jordan Love. Maybe you wanted to exercise your experience in other ways. Maybe that's what it was, and maybe it didn't work out that way. You're not a bad receiver, but you want to get the ball. You ain't getting the ball. So unless there is talk in training camp about this beautiful connection, and you know Coach gonna sniff it out if I can find it. Unless I hear more talks about this beautiful connection between Aiden O'Connell and Devontae Adams, I'm more so pushing Adams back over there to Jordan Love, where I believe he'll gain more touchdowns. See, I'm not saying much about Hopkins over there in Tennessee, because they have a better connection than O'Connell. I don't think O'Connell's good, but he was thrown into the fire in a weird situation. We got to see what happens in training camp and what the season starts to look like. His situation is one of those I'm not going to say I give a pass to, but I will say I'm not going to beat up O'Connell until I get a full season of O'Connell. All right. Just like everybody went crazy over Brock Purdy in his 8 games. His 8 games with no tape. Okay? 8 games, no tape. You're supposed to do that. That was nothing special. That's next year. Last year, that was special. Okay, even with the 3 games that they lost because they were down players last year, that is what I wanted to see from Brock Purdy. Okay, I saw exactly this year. I expect to see more. I do. This is your 3rd year. Only 2 things happen in your 3rd year. You have a quarterback slump, or you do that. You take off, buddy. Like 45, 47 touchdowns, maybe. You know, like you throwing for, you were shutting up the doubters of your arm strength, of your arm accuracy, your arm distance. Like, that's what you're doing in your 3rd year. You're either falling to the critics or you're throwing up 2 fingers to the critics. Okay? That's the only thing that can happen in year 3. Because year 4, you gotta get paid, don't you? Yeah. Because if you don't do one of those things in year 3, you're not getting paid in year 4. So those are your only choices. You either rise or fall. Your three of them. Beast in the NFL. And that's for any position. That is not just quarterback, receiver, anybody on defense. If you, okay, I can get prime example. You know, Coach always got examples. Why did Gurley get paid? Why did Gurley get a little bit of money? He came into the NFL with arthritis in his knee. He that was already known. In his first 2-3 seasons, that's it. He was running hard. He was running good. He was a beast. He got paid. He ran another year very well, no problems. And then they happened. That arthritis came back, and bada bing, bada boom. That's when he started going down. But do you understand, before that arthritis, I need y'all to understand something. Before that arthritis, the only reason why Gurley never got truly a great contract is because he came in with the arthritis already. They already knew he wasn't going to last. But do you understand, with the time that he had, he was the most dominant running back in the NFL. That's why they gave him something. It's like, I'm not calling it chump money, but I mean, it's not like he had a great contract, but he got $20 million bonus. He got a $47 million contract that he never had to renegotiate, that they never had to take money from. He just didn't get anything guaranteed because they weren't paying guaranteed money for arthritis in their knee. You see what I'm saying? You know who didn't get paid in the same rookie class and didn't have arthritis? How did have healthier legs? Todd Gurley. No, Melvin Gordon. Why? Well, ever since Melvin Gordon came in as a rookie, he displayed two things. He can catch and he can run. He displayed one more thing. He cannot last a full season. By the last 3 or 4 games, the most important games of the NFL, it happened every year. And you know what happened his contract year? I even drafted him in fantasy that year. He even had a game against the Patriots where I started him knowing if he didn't score a big, long touchdown, he wasn't going to score again because that defense was eating up running back. And he did. He got a nice one, and I scored. I got the points for that touchdown. It was nice. I didn't get much more out of that, but that's what I needed. But that same year, that was his contract year. Like, meaning if he did not stay healthy, he was doing everything else fine. But if this dude did not make it to week 17 or 18, ready for the playoffs, he wasn't getting paid. What happened? He didn't last. So he didn't get paid. So these contracts are you gotta look at the underlying detail of them most of the time. Okay, like, why is the person getting paid, and what are they getting paid to do? What are they getting paid for? He didn't get any money. He's a great running back, but he could never ever last. So that means his value was always declining towards the end of the season. Towards all the seasons that he played, they always declined. Even after he went to other teams. I mean, you got a whole picture of Melvin Gordon staring at Russell Wilson. But, bruh, shouldn't they be looking at you too? Because you did nothing. The nerve to go to the Chiefs holding the ring with no gear on because you was in a jumpsuit. Because you didn't play, but you got a ring. Like, nobody has pride anymore. Anyway, the plea is real. The plea will gain a little bit more steam because, again, they're going to ask Jacobs again, too. And he's going to elaborate more during a press conference. He's going to talk more about it. Like, it's going to become a thing. And it might even be the talk of the whole doggone preseason. Just to give preseason a little bit of edge, right? Could this trade actually happen? We might even actually get a trade. Like, they might offer something, and there may be a first decline. Like, no, we don't. That's not what we're looking for. We don't know. But this plea, this plea started a lot. So we're gonna keep our eye on it. And again, I prefer him with Green Bay over the Raiders anyway. All right, so we're gonna take a quick little commercial break, and then when we come back, we're jumping right into these NFC East schedule predictions. Be right back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Han.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, like told me, keep on running toes. They gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
All right, welcome back, everybody. All right, so we are about to get into the best part of the show. Dun-dun-dun. Schedule prediction. So, again, I'm doing it a little different this year. Don't get me wrong. I already have it predicted. But instead of me doing it all and then trying to do like, should I do the first 5 teams or should I do it this way? No, we're going to do it by division. We're going to do it 4 teams in every division, right? It should be simple. That means we can bring 4 teams every week to the show and knock these out real quick. And mind you, these are just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the mock. It's not the real one. The real one gets posted to my Instagram when I make it look all nice and pretty. If I do that. I don't know yet. We'll see what kind of time I got. Okay, so let's get started. Where are we at? All right, so hold on 1 second. I think I lost something. Let me see here. What did I do wrong? Yeah, coach messed up something. Hold on, give me. What did I do? I did. Okay, well, I was supposed to be making 2 separate sheets, and I ended up putting it on the same sheet. So that's my fault. But anyway, let's see here. Don't worry, I still got them. I just messed up, and instead of having them on 2 separate spreadsheets, because I was gonna compare last year's predictions, but I think I still can, because I think I still have something to just a couple of teams I just erased, but I think I'll be all right. But anyway, let's get back to it. So we are going to start with the NFC East, and the teams we are going to begin with are the New York Giants. That should be fairly easy because I don't have them winning a lot of games. So based off of what they drafted, based off of the quarterback that they're keeping, the no running back that they have, and subpar defense, they had 6 wins last year. And I actually predicted 6 wins, and they only got 6 wins. This year, I'm dropping them one more. So I only have them going 5-12. They have a pretty tough schedule. I haven't beaten Minnesota to start the season because they have a rookie quarterback. So I don't see anything about Minnesota beating the Giants in that first game. But then I have them losing to Washington and to the Browns. I have them beating the Cowboys. Now, it's the Thursday night game. It's at home, and they should have it. But one thing I don't do when it comes to division games, if you're home or away, unless you're just a crappy team, I don't give you wins for away games. Obviously, I give you wins for your home games. So basically, you're going to go 3-3 for division purposes. Unless you, like I said, unless you're just a bad team or that other team in your division is just like, I think they can actually take 2 games from you. Other than that, no. And don't get me wrong, not every team's going to go 3-3 in the division. Somebody's going to have to beat a team twice. Yeah, this is just to get a clear visual look at the of the season, like what they can possibly go based on the teams that they're playing and the division games that they have and their team strength. Like this is basically just like what they could possibly go as a whole. So right now, I have them at 5-12. I have them 4-5 at home, 1-7 on the road, 3-3 in the division. They do have 3 primetime games, and I have them going 1-2 in primetime. They have a stretch here where Dabo is going to get fired because they play Tampa, the Cowboys, New Orleans, Baltimore, Atlanta, Indianapolis, and Philly. Those are all losses. That's from week 12 to week 18, all losses. They have a week bye. They have a week 11 bye. But yeah, they're that week 12 to week 18, all straight losses. All straight losses. So I don't think I don't think the Giants are going to be good this year. I do think Dabo loses his job after this season. They don't have a running back. Again, their receivers are young and inexperienced, and they keep showing these one-handed highlights on their page. Like, we are creating more Odells. Stop. Like, I don't understand. So no, I don't have. And then they got them ugly costumes too. Costumes. They ain't call them uniform. They got them ugly ass costumes. No, the Giants are going to go 5 games. That's it. I don't have them winning anything. All right. Let's see. Next, we're going to go Washington. And simply because I don't really have them winning that many games. Not too bad. I have them at 8-9 right now. Again, they have a rookie quarterback. They have weapons. The defense worries me still. And I think that's why I have them more at 8-9, possibly falling to 7-10. Depending on who, because they have a pretty tough schedule as well. Like, all right, they got the Bucks week 1. I have them losing to. They haven't beaten the Giants in week 2. I have them losing to Cincinnati week 3. I have them losing to the Cardinals in week 4. I have them losing to the Browns in week 5. I have them losing to Baltimore in week 6. It's a tough schedule. They beat Carolina week 7. I do believe at home they can beat Chicago in week 8. It's 2 rookie quarterbacks. I think they're both the defense is the same. So, same as the receivers. I have them losing to New York week 9. I have them beating Pittsburgh in week 10. But that could change. That's the one I think could change. Like, they could lose to Pittsburgh in week 10. I have them losing week 11 on a Thursday night to the Eagles. I have them beating the Cowboys at home week 12. Week 13 is a win against Tennessee Titans at home. Week 14 is a bye. Week 15 away in New Orleans is a win. Week 16 at home against Philly is a win. Week 17 at home against Atlanta is a loss. It could be a win, though. But it depends on if Atlanta is inbound for playoff picture, then no. Washington will lose to Atlanta. That means Atlanta is catapulted to that level. Again, I just don't think he should have gotten all that money, the quarterback, because you paid a quarterback all that money to just get in the playoffs. He's not going anywhere. Like y'all are not doing anything. You see what I'm saying? So that doesn't discredit Atlanta from making it to the playoffs though. So that I have them losing to Atlanta, and then I have them losing to the Cowboys week 18. So 8-9 record, 7-2 at home. That might be a stretch. Yeah, because that's that Pittsburgh game. So that's why, and that's another reason why it's a stretch. But we'll see, because Pittsburgh, they're not that great. And I actually think the Tomlin era for Pittsburgh is kind of over. But that's a different discussion. So let's see, 7-2 at home, 1-7 on the road. They have a tough road. They have a tough road schedule. On the road, they have the Cowboys, Philly, New York, but I mean that one they could possibly steal two from New York, depending on how bad New York actually ends up being. But they do have Baltimore, Arizona, Cincinnati, and Tampa Bay, so they do not have an easy road schedule. They have 2 primetime games, and I got them losing both. What's good? What's good? Big Dave. Oh, did you miss my Ayuk special? My prediction: by the time contracts talks are ready to go and it's time for Sonny, he's gonna miss preseason. It's not important for him to be a preseason. He's gonna work out. But right now, Amon-Ra is the highest paid, and Ayuk has to be the highest paid. I'm looking at 130 over 80, 130 million, 4 years, 80 million guaranteed for Brandon Ayuk. Maybe 78. They may not go too high, but I think if they want to make him the highest paid and lock it up, that's the amount that could be surfaced somewhere around that region. Tell me what you think, Dave. All right, let's get back to schedule predictions. So we got the Giants at 5-11. And we have Washington at 8-9. All right, next up, we got the Cowboys. Let's see what their record is. All right. So Dallas Cowboys for the 2024 season, I'm not expecting much, to be quite honest with you. I get it. Zeke is back. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. He's still running over trash cans. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Zeke hadn't really ran the ball in the open field in 4 years. They've all been 20-yard line stuff. He can catch still, but he hadn't done much. But we'll see. We'll see what he can do. You bring the duo back at him and Dak. It's not like Dak is running, so what that duo really does is nothing without Dak running. You do still have CeeDee Lamb. And I do like the tight end there too. So, with all that being said, and the defense that they currently are working with, I have them going 9-8. If they can steal a game from either Washington or the Giants, they can go 10. Ain't not stealing nothing else because, buddy, when I tell you I'm being generous with this 9-8 schedule for these Cowboys, and this is no clown at all to the Cowboys, not at all. Bro, this schedule is rough. They got the Browns first. I have them beating the Browns, but see, I don't know. They're going away. In Cowboys week 1, they're not too keen on winning that week 1 game, bro. And I don't know. We'll see. It ain't like Watson's playing his best football right now either, so we'll see what happens. But Nick Chubb is coming. Nick Chubb. I I don't know if he's ready for week 1, but we'll be back, so we'll see. A lot of that culminates into the Cowboys winning or losing this game is who's all going to be there for each side. Will Trayvon Diggs be there returning interceptions? We don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. But right now, I got week 1 against the Browns is a win for the Cowboys. Week 2 is a win against the Saints. Week 3 is a loss against Baltimore. Week 4, because it's a division game and it's away, it's a loss against the Giants. Week 5, away is a win against Pittsburgh. Week 6 at home against Detroit is a loss. Week 7 is a bye week. Week 8, Sunday night, is away against San Francisco. That's a loss. Week 9 is away against Atlanta is a win. Week 10 is at home against Philly. That's a win. Week 11 at home against Houston is a loss. Week 12 away, Washington is a loss. Week 13 at home for the Giants is a win. Week 14 at home for the Bengals is a loss. Week 15 away, Carolina is a win. Week 16, Tampa Bay is a win. That could be a loss, so depending on how strong Tampa Bay is this year. They paid their quarterback, they paid their receiver. So, they still got Todd Bowles, behind as their coach. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. But this is one of those where I can give confidently the Cowboys a win right now. But depending on what Tampa Bay looks like, this is why you always pay. When I do schedule releases, I always pay attention that I do weekly predictions as well. So my weekly, like where I'm saying right now, week 16, I'm giving the Cowboys the win against Tampa Bay. If I got Tampa Bay winning 5 in a row, not during schedule prediction, like when I do the weekly ones and they win, I'm giving them the win. Like I'm not giving the Cowboys that win that week, even though I did it here. This win here is just so I can get again the record. That's what this is for. Because any one of these wins or losses can change, and they can still be 9-8. You see my point? I'm just giving you my blueprint of where I'm getting my 9-8 record from. Okay. Again, 9-8 means they can go up 1 or 2 or down 1 or 2. So this is all right. So let's see. Where did I leave off at? Okay. All right, week 9 is Atlanta's a win away. Week 10 is at home against Philly is a win. Week 11 at home in Houston is a loss. Week 12 away against the Commanders is a loss. Week 13 at home against the Giants is a win. Week 14 at home against the Bengals is a loss. Week 15 away against Carolina is a win. Oh, I did that right. So week 16 at home Tampa is a win. Week 17, away against Philly is a loss, and week 18 at home against the Commanders is a win. So that comes out to being 9-8. Possibly, the Cowboys can possibly still get 10 to 11 wins out of this record, and into the playoffs. They're 5-4 at home and 4-4 on the road. They have 6 primetime games, and right now I have them 2-4 in primetime due to who they play in primetime. So they have Thursday night against the Giants, which they can turn into a win. Again, I just right now, for the purpose of the record, I don't, unless you're just going to be a crappy team, I'm not giving you a division loss like that. For if you're home, if you're like basically the Giants are home, I give them that win against the Cowboys. And then it's Thursday night too. That sounds like a damn Giants win. Sunday night against Pittsburgh, I have them winning. Sunday night against San Francisco is a loss. Monday night against Houston is a loss. Monday night against Cincinnati is a loss. Sunday night against Tampa is right now a win. So they have a tough schedule, and they got 9-8 out of it. Not bad. 9-8 ain't bad. It's a win. And it's a possible playoff spot. So always know that one game above 8 makes you great. Giants. They were 9-7, and they won a Super Bowl. I'm just saying. one game above 8 will make you great. All right, so before we get back, before we start with the Eagles, let's go back to these comments real quick. You seriously think they lose to the Giants? Well, it's not a matter of losing. Division teams play differently against each other. And again, I'm just giving them. So basically, in the NFC East right now, I don't have anybody that much stronger than another team to go more than 3-3 in the division, even though I know when the season starts, they will. This number just gives me a fair idea of what I think based off the schedule, what I think a team can go by the record. Okay. So yeah, Cowboys going 9-8 per now. Remember, we haven't had training camp. We don't have any injuries, so I can't even drop their record if they lose somebody. They haven't lost anybody right now. This is purely based off what they did last year, what they've gained and what they've lost, what their record, what their schedule looks like, who they're going up against, based off of overseas, based off of prime time, and again, strength of schedule in itself. And we don't know what the Giants are going to look like, to be quite honest with you. I don't have them. Look, I only got Giants winning 5 games, but 5 of those games come from them winning their few games in their division. 3-3, actually. You see what I'm saying? And do I think they're going to win 3 games in the division? Probably not. This is just to give a makeup of the schedule. Like what I think based off this schedule, a team will go record-wise. That's all it's for. I know they do. But again, it ain't like the Cowboys are that strong this year. Like, it's not like the Cowboys have such an elite team. I think the Cowboys team was a little bit stronger last year than what I think they'll be this year. They didn't do much in the draft. And again, their schedule, the Cowboys' schedule this year is fairly tougher than it usually is, which is why they have 9. Because outside of them and the Giants, think about it, right? They can beat the Giants. They can beat the Giants twice. Let's just say that, right? They beat the Giants twice. Let's go back to the Cowboys. See, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I love. Okay. They could beat the Giants twice. Let's take that right now and put that in the bag, right? That gives them 10. So what that means is they could possibly lose to Tampa, which still gives them 9 wins. Because right now I have them beating Tampa and breaking even with the Giants. You see what I'm saying? No, they can still beat the Giants twice, and they can still beat the Bucks, right? That still gives them 11. But that's what I mean when I say I have them winning 9-8 with the possibility of going up 1 or 2 or down 1 or 2. Not, they're 9-8 and but I think they can still win 4 games. No, I'm not. That's ridiculous. If you look at their schedule, there is no way. But there is a way that the Cowboys from this 9-8 schedule, there is a way they can steal 2 games. Maybe 3. No, I already got to beat Atlanta. So there's a way they can steal 3 games out of this. I mean, 2 games out of this and go from 9-8 to 11-5. You see what I'm saying? Or 11-6. Same record as they had last year, the year before that. So nothing's necessarily changing. I'm just giving them a baseline record based off what I have and the information I have right now. Because again, training camp starts, Zeke can tear his ACL, CeeDee Lamb can tear his shoulder, and guess what? That record now goes from 9-8 to 7-10. Because without CeeDee Lamb, there's no way I'm keeping the Cowboys at 9-8. There is absolutely no way. Okay. Or if they lose a significant person on the defense, I might have to, depending on if there's a matchup here that I have them winning because of their defense, I'm going to have to take that game away if they lose someone significant to that defense. So that's what I'm saying. Right now, this is just a baseline schedule based off everything that they currently have, based off what they did last year, how much of a drop-off from last year today. It's a 2-game drop-off, which means it's still a 2-game game if they can steal 2 games out of their schedule. And anything can happen. Remember, let's go back to it, right? I got them at 9-8, right? They can come across Detroit in week 6, and Detroit could have 3 people out for injury that are significant to the defense, and they win and steal that game. Or Washington. But if you think about it, if you look at their schedule, I already got them beating Cleveland, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, Atlanta. I'm not having them beat San Francisco. I got them beating Philly once. Okay. They could. I don't think they're going to beat Houston. I just don't think they have the power to beat Houston. If Houston displays the level of what they did last year, there is absolutely no way. They got Cincinnati. I got them losing to Cincinnati. I think and that is me believing Cincinnati this year will be stronger than they have been last year. They don't have a choice. They really don't have a choice. They've come to a point in their section of football where they've got to make more noise, or it's just like, really, Cincinnati, this is all you got. So the noise making means they beat the Cowboys. All of this, Tampa Bay, Philly again, their record is tough, 9-8, with still being able to go 11-6. So that tells you a lot about the Cowboys. It just means I can't look at the Giants right now with the current state of the Cowboys, right? Because when's the first time they play week 4? You see what I'm saying? If the Giants and Cowboys play both games later in the season, I could actually possibly give the Cowboys both of those wins. But anything is crazy possible between weeks 1 through 5. And that crazy possible is I got the Giants beating the Cowboys, especially on a Thursday night. So that's where I'm looking at it that way, of why I think the Cowboys will break even with the Giants rather than beating them twice. It's because there is that one early game in week 4. So again, coach looks at all that stuff. I look at how early teams play each other. I understand what happens between weeks 1 and 4 and weeks 5 through 10, and then weeks 10 through 18. There's sections of weeks that things happen differently. And Giants can win crazy games here in the beginning of the season. Remember, I got the Giants, I think, only going 1-3 or 1-4 when the season starts, but the teams that they're playing can lose people. And now the Giants are 3-2. That fast. You see what I'm saying? So, again, this is not who I think is better than who. This is me looking at the numbers strictly for what they are. The loss to Pitt, but sweep the Giants. And that still gives you 9-8. That still only gives you 9-8. That's what I'm saying. That still gives you 9-8. And it still gives you a possibility of still stealing 1 or 2 games to go 10 or 11 wins. But if anything, this is why I have them at 9-8, because they're a crippling team. Meaning, if anything happens to the Cowboys, injury-wise, in any significant way, that 9 goes down to 7 that fast. Meaning they can't lose that. Unless they got somebody back there ready to literally just take over this team and still go 11, they can't lose that. They can't lose CeeDee Lamb, and they cannot lose anything significant on their defense. That is, they're a crippling team right now. They can't even lose anybody on that offensive line right now. But if they stay true to this tough schedule, it's a tough schedule. They'll go 9-8. I like it. I like your base. Coach playing spades with the Cowboys. Yo, Tomo see, right? Tomo, he wasn't no coach, man. Tomo see before. We don't want to call AJ Brown a tight end. I'm just saying. We see things differently. You know what I mean? I know how to play chess. I know how to play cards. I know how to play spades. I ain't been beat. I know how to play dominoes. I know how to hit that 25. It's a game, right? I know how to win. All right, so let's move on to our last NFC team. This one was for Kev, but Kev ain't nowhere to be found. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to win 12 games. I got the Eagles winning 12. And it's purely because of their schedule. It's the same as the Cowboys, Washington, and the Cowboys, and the Giants, but with the way the Eagles are so stacked, it's almost like they can maintain. But here's what I mean too. The Eagles are good. I mean, they're really good, and they filled in the gaps the right way. I think they're gonna be fine. They got Saquon. They got a running back. They got a quarterback. They got some good receivers over there. The defense stays stout. So I have them going 12-5. Now y'all can go ahead and fight me with this one. All right. Hold on, because I still hear some noise talking. What's the Commanders' record? I actually have them going 8-9. I got them in third place, so they could steal a game or two, and depending on who they're playing, and but I think last year I had Commanders going 9-8. That didn't. It looked like it was getting there, but it catapulted right there at the end of the season. But this year I have them going 8-9 based off of the schedule that they have and who they're going and got a rookie quarterback. I'm not sold on their defense, but based on the schedule, I do think they have enough to win at least 8 games. The 9th easiest schedule this year. Okay, it's always okay. I wasn't wrong. Giants must be like 5-12. Yep, you're absolutely right. I got the Giants only winning 5 games. I don't have that's what I'm saying. I have them winning against the Cowboys because it's in week 4. Like, Cowboys don't give it. I know it's a division game, and I'm not saying the Cowboys don't care about that game, but remember, every team by week 4 ain't ready. And I don't know if the Cowboys will be ready. The Giants will be ready because it's almost like they don't have much, and they have so much to do improve. They got to come out and win this game type of thing. You know what I mean? And it's a Thursday night game. So what happens to a Thursday night game? The team we don't want to win wins. We don't want the Giants to win, but who's going to win the Giants? I don't know why, because Thursday night just answers that callback. But yeah, you're right, Dave. They got an easy. Eagles got an easy schedule, bro. And it's funny because they got the same schedule as the other 3 teams, just about. But based on what they have as a team, this makes their schedule pretty. So they got Green Bay week 1. I actually have them losing to Green Bay week 1. They could win that, but I put it as a loss because it's away. It's overseas actually too. It's in Brazil, I think is the game. So I got Green Bay winning that because of all those reasons. I just don't think Philly is just going to be ready for that game. And that game has no indication on the rest of the schedule, to be quite honest with you, because they come back Monday night against Atlanta at home and win. Week 3 is away against the Saints. That's a win. Week 4 away against the Bucks. That's a win. Week 6 home against the Browns is a win. Week 7 away against the Giants is a loss. That could actually be a win because they play the Giants after a bye week. And but again, it's a division game and they're away. So by automatic, I'm just giving them the loss just to make a fair record. Week 8, they're away against the Bengals, which is a loss, which could be a win. They could steal that one from the Bengals. Week 9 is home against Jacksonville. That's a win. Week 10 is away against the Cowboys. Is a loss. Week 11 is home against Washington. That's a win. Week 12 is at home. Oh, week 12 is away against the Rams. That's a win. Yeah, that's a win. Week 13 is away against Baltimore. Is a win. That could fairly be a loss that late in the season, depending on what I got Baltimore doing. So I haven't even done Baltimore's record yet. So I do make changes too when I eventually do another team's record. So because Baltimore might have some where there's this weird stretch in their record. Like, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna have them lose this game due to the stretch they're on. Or yeah, I can see them win 3, lose 2 because the second one to beat to this team. I can see. So I play a puzzle game with this. Carolina, week 14 at home is a win. Week 15 at home against Pittsburgh is a win. Week 16 against Washington is a loss away. Week 17 at home against Dallas is a win. And week 18 against the Giants at home is a win. So with that being said, it's a 12-5, 8-0 at home, 4-5 on the road. You need to be red. 3-3 for the division, but could be 4-2. 5 primetime games, and I have them going 4-1 in primetime. See, outside of their AFC North and AFC South divisional matchups, they aren't the same all the way. Yeah, you're right. Outside of those, they really aren't the same. Because the Giants in Washington have two more teams hard. Because, matter of fact, Eagles ain't got to play 49ers. Look at that. The Eagles ain't got to deal with the 49ers. Eagles don't have to deal with, where's the other one? And I got 49ers beating the Cowboys and still got the Cowboys going 9-8. That says a lot about the Cowboys in their current state, by the way. I'm not even a Cowboys fan, so it depends. Again, all it depends on what happens when they come out. And I think the Cowboys also probably, I don't know, do they make trades during the season? I'm not sure if I've ever seen Cowboys make any trades during the season. I think I've seen them do pickups, but they usually do that in the beginning anyway. But I don't think that's necessarily doing trades. And neither one of them, I think, have to play Houston. Dallas got to play Houston, and Dallas got to play San Francisco. Let me see. Does Washington play Houston? Nope. Washington got to deal with the Bears. And they all dealing with Carolina. Yeah, Washington got they got an okay schedule. Their schedule isn't hard at all. It's not easy, but it's not hard. They can win some games if they really wanted to. And now let's go look at the New York Giants real quick. Let's see. They have to face nobody. They face absolutely no one, and they're going to go 5-12. That tells you a lot about their team. They face nobody. None. There's nobody bro. The Giants, they face Minnesota, Washington, Cleveland, Dallas, Seattle, Cincinnati, Philly, Pittsburgh, Washington, Carolina, Tampa, Dallas, New Orleans, Baltimore, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Philly. It ain't the easiest. I would say it's up there. It's a winnable schedule if you know what you're doing, and they're going to win 5. They're only going to win 5 with the schedule. This is why I say, because they have this stretch from week 12 all the way down to week 18, they're going to lose all those games. After that, week 11 bye week, they're going to lose every single last one of those games. Especially if they do beat the Cowboys in week 4 on a Thursday night game, they're definitely going to beat them after losing to the Bucs in week 12 to start this trend. They're definitely going to lose to the Cowboys away in week 13. Then they got to go deal with New Orleans. They're going to lose that game. Then they got to deal with, especially if Dennis Allen is fired and the new coach takes over and they got a new spring about their life. Yeah, New Orleans is winning that game. They're going to lose. Then they got to deal with Baltimore. Then they got to deal with Atlanta. Then they got to deal with Indianapolis. Then they got to finish off with Philly. Dabo's fired at the end of the season, bro. That's the type of schedule that they have. They have those ugly costumes that they have to wear, and they have a 5-12 schedule to do it in. So, yeah, Philly's schedule's pretty easy. I think the Cowboys out of that division have the harder schedule. Out of that NFC East. They have the hardest schedule. That's what I thought. It's hard. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's rare they make a trade anytime. If anything they do free agent pickups so they can pay that dude cheap and hope he pans out. He ain't gonna get cut. That's how cheap they pay him. He's just happy to be on the football team. He's just happy to put that star in his head, bro. I don't know how dare you finding them type of players, bro. What do you do? Happy to be a Cowboy. I mean, he got Zeke back. And I know he's talking, where else you going to play, Zeke? Huh? Where else you going to play? At least you can come home. Oh, boy. Troy looked out. You see they don't have no Niners rematch, right? You saw that too, Tomo? Yeah, the Eagles got a cakewalk of a schedule. I'm not going to lie, okay? You know how many times my Patriots didn't have a cakewalk? Hey, I'll call them when I see them. This is a cakewalk schedule. The Cowboys have to deal with then this is funny. This is funny because this is gonna mess up the Eagles in the playoffs. If the Cowboys mess around and steal 2 games and go 11, they're gonna beat the Eagles if they have to face each other in the playoffs. Or if the Eagles fall 2 games, the Cowboys will end up being number 1. Eagles are gonna be number 2 in their division. Again, with that easy schedule, they have to win those 12 games. They cannot win less, or the Cowboys are hunting. Because with a 9-8 schedule, that tough. Again, it's not a hard schedule. It's a tough schedule for the Cowboys. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the hardest schedule in all the NFL. That's not to say. I'm not saying nowhere near that. This is a tough schedule record-wise for the Cowboys. Meaning, if they can go 9-8 with this type of schedule, in the playoffs, could they go far? I'm not sure. Their team has to be able to do that. But the record itself, winning the games that you have to win to get in, they can do that and steal 2 more. Just saying. Zeke could have started an off-season trading. He could have. Or he could have did like Teddy Bridgewater and became a coach. Who knows? I don't know. If they win the division last year, we would have played them. Yeah. Even though I had, who'd I have dropping them? I had Washington dropping them, but they dropped themselves. So. Yeah, I'm. You know what's funny? I'm really surprised the NFL didn't find a way to keep this 49ers Eagles thing going. Like, I honestly thought this was going to be an interconference rivalry. I really did. Like, you made it a mission to keep Peyton playing Brady. You made it a mission. You made it a mission for Mahomes to keep beating up on Josh Allen. You made it a mission. Why y'all play? This would have been amazing. But you made the Cowboys play the 49ers because y'all want the Cowboys to lose record-wide, people. I don't know why. Be fair. I know some people's strength and schedule is harder than the others, but I don't know. That Eagles schedule looks like a pretty cakewalkable schedule. Like, I'm just saying, don't be surprised with the cakewalk schedule like that if they show no strength in the playoffs. Just saying. You got to have fortitude in the season. You know what I'm saying? To have that kind of strength in the playoffs. And again, I keep going back because it's tough right now. With that schedule they have in 9-8, Cowboys can beat that. Oh man, but hey, I appreciate you guys coming in today. So our next week's show, we will do any topic news that comes up, but the next division, we're gonna stay in the NFC and just do no, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna go AFC this time. We'll go back and forth. So we'll do the AFC East. Oh, that's fun. That's perfect. That is Miami Jets. J-E-T-S. Super Bowl. Anyway, we got Jets, Miami, Bills, and Patriots. So that one is going to be fun. That's going to be a good one. So that'll be next week's show. We'll have those 4 teams ready and those schedules ready to discuss those. And then no, we'll stick with one. If we have time next week, what we'll do is, that's right. It'll be scheduled release, any news that comes up. And we're ranking. We are ranking, not fantasy. We're not doing fantasy yet, but we are ranking players. We're ranking players in their position: quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, tight ends. We're rating and ranking them. All right, you know what Coach like to do. I give you NFL's rankings. Coach got his. You feel me? We're going to compare. So that'll be fun. We'll do quarterbacks, of course. So we will do the AFC East, and we'll do quarterback rankings. So that way, what the quarterback rankings do, okay, when coach ranks them from their stats of last year, this helps coach put them in the proper rankings for fantasy. But I have to rank them in their tier groups. Then I got to rank them all from 1 to however many people play my players. I think we did over 196 players last year, almost 200 some players last year, something like that. I don't know. So we got a lot. Remember, season's coming, so we got a lot of work to do. All right. So I appreciate all you guys coming and watching. So stay tuned for next week for another great show. Coach is out.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.